Boy, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful out here. Gorgeous. In this week's video, we visit the Cloudcroft and White Sands, New Mexico area. We started our trip by spending the first couple of days exploring around Cloudcroft, New Mexico. It is a quaint little mountain town located in the National Lincoln Forest. My wife and children highly enjoyed visiting the local ski area, taking advantage of the snow tubing and having a great time. While at Cloudcroft, we enjoyed driving around, seeing all the beautiful scenery the Lincoln National Forest provides. We also spent time hiking in the National Forest. There's several trails in that area, followed by spending time at the local historic wooden trestle bridge, the Mexican Canyon Trestle. It is located about a half-mile northwest of Cloudcroft. I was very lucky and able to catch it at the right time around sunset and was able to capture the following picture. While I didn't have time to actually record video while taking the picture, I did highly enjoy visiting this spot, and it turned out to be one of my favorite pictures of the trip. We enjoyed our time in the Cloudcroft area, especially driving through the forest. We saw actually quite a bit of wildlife, many deer, and even a few elk. After spending a couple of days in this area, we decided to move on to the Alamogordo area, where we got to visit the White Sands National Park. Now, this is where most of my landscape photography started for this trip. Now, be sure to stick to the end of the video. You're going to see some beautiful scenes. Okay, so our first stop's been this Dune Life Nature Trail. It's supposed to be an area where you can see a little bit of the different types of plant life and even sometimes animal life in this area. So a little bit of everything that you can see. So Dune Life Nature Trail is our first stop. Man, I got to tell you, this place is beautiful. We weren't expecting the sand to be the way it is. It's not like the sand at the Colorado Greater Sand Dunes, the Greater Sand Dunes in Colorado. It's not nowhere near like that kind of sand. If you haven't seen sand dunes there, check out our Colorado sand dunes video. I'll put a link, or check that out. But this sand is totally different. It's like a fine white talcum-like powder. It actually reminds me of snow. So talk about a white Christmas. It definitely reminds me of that. Reminds me of snow. So I just captured one picture of the sand dune. It's really neat. It looks like waves of sunlight just glistening across the sand dune, like little waves, the way the wind has blown the sand. Didn't have a chance to film me taking that photograph, but really neat, kind of abstract view in a way. Like these little waves of sand on the side of the sand dune. Really just beautiful, really neat stuff. Now if you look at my kids here, they are enjoying the sand too. I think they're building their own little sand mound or dune, snowman. I have no idea. The nature trail made for an interesting hike. Much like other sand dunes, walking in the sand is like walking with extra weights on your feet. Gives you a great workout. We came upon this one desolate-looking tree that somewhat made me think of a tree ant crawling its way through a desert, trying to find the nearest water hole. I just had to stop and take a picture of it. It turned out to be very interesting and made a great picture. So the nature trail is just awesome. It's really beautiful. So if you haven't seen the nature trail, take it first. Get to see a little bit of vegetation and stuff, and it's beautiful, really beautiful. We just got to do hiking some of that. Really enjoyed it. So it's weird though, when you first park, you're gonna see a bunch of sand, like a sand dune wall, and it's gonna have a little bit of vegetation on it. Doesn't look that pretty. Well, just walk over that wall. It's worth it, man. It's really beautiful. It's definitely worth it. All right, so we're gonna take off to our next trail, our next spot, and see what we can find. So I'm at the Sunset Trail. I'm gonna walk around and just see if I can't find some kind of composition out here. Boy, it is getting cold with that sun going down, getting cold quick. So, see what I can't find. Hopefully I'll catch the sunset if I don't freeze to death first. I may not have brought enough layers with me this time. I may have to come back. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna start hiking. Boy, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful out here. Gorgeous. I should have got here earlier to find a place that wasn't marked up by other people walking and stuff. I think you have to walk a little ways out before you can find a place that isn't too marred up from other people walking. You can find little spots here and there, but so I probably should have started earlier. I may do that the next trip. So I think I found a couple of compositions here. I'm not sure they're that great, but I think they're okay considering the amount of time I have. I don't have a lot of time left, unfortunately. I'll try to make more time the next trip over here. Gosh, it's just beautiful, really beautiful. Check out the sky. So I've got one composition here. You'll see this slight little dune, a little line going up through the picture here, going up to this vegetation here. I just love how the lines, it's kind of, there's light on the edge of it there. It just kind of reflects the sun there. And there's other lines going up to it. Although there is one spot that's a little marred there, but hopefully I can avoid that. But I think that'll be one really nice picture there. I think that'll be pretty nice. All right, so I think I got it set up real quick. So I had to get real low to get this shot in. Here, let me show you my setup. Okay, so if you look real close here, hopefully you can see my screen. I've got the lines leading up to here, up to this vegetation. And the sun is kind of reflecting off this left side here. And you can see, of course, the mountains and sky in the background. It's beautiful, beautiful. I think this is going to turn out okay. It's not the best composition. I think I could find better if I had time. I'm just running out of time, but I think it's going to turn out pretty nice, though. I think it's going to be pretty nice. So let's go ahead and take that shot. I got it set to basically got it set to 100 ISO f16. It's probably overkill. 100th shutter speed, 1/100th, and I've got a 10-second timer because I'm shaking the camera a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and get the shot. So I zoomed in a little bit more. I think it'll be a little bit nicer if you maybe zoom in, maybe zoom in a little bit more of that composition. So I'm going to try that out real quick. Check this out. So if you look at this composition, you can tell I zoomed in more. Same composition, just zoomed in more to emphasize that hill in the foreground, and the accents, the color, the light on the left side here. So I'm going to do a focus stack here. I'm going to do maybe 2 or 3 focus. Go ahead and get this picture in. I got to hurry up and grab this one because I see one more composition I'd like to try to get in. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Go ahead and stack, focus on the infinity. Take that shot. Go ahead and focus in the middle. Take that shot. So I think that last one's going to turn out pretty nice. So I'm going to scoot over here to one other place over here, try to get a composition with the sun, the actual sun in the photograph. So I'll go ahead and put those two photos up. Let me know which one you like best. Leave a comment below. All right, so I got another composition set up. I had to rush from that last one to this one, try to get to it. I don't know what's my hurry. The sun really isn't coming through those clouds anyway, but it is. I mean, it's lighting them up. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but hopefully you can tell in the photos. So let me show you this composition. So as you can see here, I've got the stalk on the right side here, and it's got lines in the sand kind of leading up to it, and then you can see the mountains in the background there. I've got it on a rule of third there. I'm tempted to get closer with a wider lens and make it bigger, make it more prominent, but I think I'm out of time for experimenting, so I'm going to go with this shot for now. So I've got it set to about f13. I'm going to focus stack it just to be safe, and I'm going to do multiple exposures too. So I'm going to go ahead and get this shot before the light's gone. All right, so wife and kids and I have been driving around today. So this is the following day from the White Sands trip. We've been riding around today, just taking it easy. It's actually the day before we have to head back to Texas. So we are currently at the tunnel view off 82, trying to catch the sunset. So it's a really beautiful view, really beautiful stop if you want to check it out. Right here in front of me, here, let me show you the composition. Okay, so we have the foreground rock here and vegetation, and then you have the ravine kind of curving through here, kind of like an S, and you have the of course the rocks and the cliffs on both sides, and off in the distance you can see that there's a town of Alamogordo. Can't say that correctly, but it's a very pretty view. I'm gonna focus stack it. I'll probably do 3 or 4 shots in the stack. That's probably overkill. Probably only need 2, but I tend to do that a lot. Better safe than sorry. And I also will do multiple exposures. It's quite a bit of dynamic range here in the light. So this is the tunnel vista or tunnel view off of Highway 82 between Alamogordo and Cloudcroft. So I'm going to do f11. I got it set to 1/20th aperture, ISO 100. Got my wider lens on. I got it set to 24 millimeter, and I'm going to focus stack it. I'm waiting for that light to hit just right, but I'm going to go ahead and get a couple of pictures ahead of time. Let me go ahead and put a marker go ahead and get foreground. I'm going to get one in the middle. I'm going to get two at the bottom, but the foreground. Probably not needed, but just to be safe. Right on that rock. So I think this is going to be a pretty picture. I'm waiting for that light just to hit just right. Hopefully it will. But gonna sit here and wait, see how it turns out. I'll put the different views up on the screen next. But man, it's a beautiful view. So that's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed our visit to Cloudcroft, New Mexico, Alamogordo, New Mexico, and White Sands area. We highly enjoyed our visit there. If you've never been before, definitely recommend it. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time watching and you enjoyed the video, please click that like button. It helps us get the word out to others, and click the subscribe button to see our future videos. Thanks again for watching. Have a great week.